Well, hello, all of my algebra people. Hope you're doing great today. As you can see, we're going to be on 4.6 today, so we're going to fast forward. We're going to skip graphing by intercepts because, let's be honest, if we can graph using slope-intercept form, that will graph for us all the time. So intercepts, it doesn't work every time, especially when I don't get good numbers, so we're going to skip it. Fast forward here to 4.6, this crazy thing we call the point slope formula. And so the bigger picture here, guys, as I zoom in, bigger picture for us to work on eventually is to solve word problems. And with some of our word problems, we're going to have to write equations and then solve them. And maybe I graph them to solve them, maybe I solve them algebraically. This unit's really going to be focused on solving them by graphing them. But in order to graph them, I need a formula, right? To graph, I need y equals something. So we're going to work on one method for figuring out an equation. And it kind of tells us a little bit up here in bold. So we're going to try to write an equation if I know an ordered pair and if I know a slope. And when we get to our word problems, these ordered pairs will really become more useful to us as we go through. But anyway, so as I always say, with everything, we have a formula that writes everything for us. And so here is our point slope formula. It looks super crazy, but it looks like this. It says y minus y1 is equal to the slope, that's m, times the quantity x minus x1. Okay, now above this I'm going to write our favorite equation, y equals mx plus b. And you'll notice there's some similar parts, right? I see a y in both of those. I see m in both of those. I see an x in both of those, okay? And for what we're going to do right now, those all y and x and m, right, we should be given all those. These y1s and x1s, those are going to come from the ordered pair that I get, right? So let me say that again. So the ordered pair we get, that's going to be x1 and y1 in our formula. X and y just stay x and y, right? That's going to be like, hey, when we go to graph something, x and y are there. So, okay, so let's see this in action. Again, so it's very straightforward for starters here. So let's hop over here to number 1. And so we use our equation, and I'll write it out here initially, and then I'll stop writing it as we move on. But it's y minus y1 equals the slope, and then I have x minus x1. So again, 4 is x1, 1 is y1. So it looks like this. Be careful with your negatives if you were to have them. So y minus 1 is equal to, again, slope is m, so 2 times this quantity x minus 4. I need to distribute here on the right-hand side, so we'll just leave y minus 1 alone, and we're going to say this turns into 2x minus 8. Let's go ahead now, solve the equation for y, so 1 needs to move over here to the right. We're going to add 1 to both sides. Add 1 to both sides, and here's my equation. Y equals 2x minus 7. Okay, awesome. Wasn't so bad. And then we could graph that if we needed to. Maybe we would solve the equation for some other value or whatnot if we needed to from there. And again, that's where we're going. So this is just one step. So while it doesn't seem like we're doing anything that exciting, we really are. Okay. Slope is a fraction this time. It's okay. Again, -6 is my x1, 0 is my y1. So it's y minus y1, in this case is 0, equals 2/3, right? That's your slope, x minus x1. Ooh, double negative. Okay, maybe right now you want to change that. Let's simplify this because I know y minus 0, that's just going to go away. Equals 2/3, and then this turns into x really plus 6. So a little bit of simplifying there. From our first to our second step. Now we can simplify. I don't know why I have two sets of equals in here. It's the longest equal sign in the world. Let's keep it going. There you go. Distribute. Now I have 2/3 x And 2/3 of 6, I believe, is the number 4. Great. Okay. Number 5. Here we go. 4, -3. Again, y minus y1 equals slope, -1, x minus x1. I'm going to simplify and distribute. So I'm going to simplify here on the left. This really turns into y plus 4. This turns into -1x plus 4. Okay. Why do I have a 4 here? This should not be a 4. How about we make that a 3? Awesome. Now it looks better. Y plus 3 equals -1x. Now I need to move 3 over here. So we need to subtract 3. Subtract 3. Alright, it goes away here. Y is equal to, you can write -1x. You could just write, -x if you wanted to. Either of those is fine. And then we'll just say plus 1. Okay, so there's our equation there. And again, like I said, we would graph it. We'd do something else if we needed to. Why don't you guys go ahead? Why don't you tackle the evens 2, 4, 6? Solve these if you need to, or pause the video, I should say, if you need to. Solve them. When you come back like magic, it will be like utter magic that everything magically has appeared for you. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll be right back. Alright, so our point slope formula, we can use that. Oh, let's be in red. There you go. Just y minus y1 equals to our slope times the quantity of x minus x1. I know the question you're going to ask, which is, hey, does it matter which ordered pair I use when I go to use the point slope formula? And the answer is no. You can pick either one. I would say, as we saw earlier, double negatives pop up everywhere when we use point slope if we have a negative number in our ordered pair. So, pick ones that maybe have positive numbers, but in this case, I got negatives in both of them, so we're going to have to deal with it sooner or later. But here we go. So step 1 is find slope, right? Find slope. So I'll take -1, I'll subtract 7. I'm going to divide that by 1 minus -3. Right, really this means 1 plus 3, this means 1 plus -7, so this turns into -8 over 4, which says, hey, you have a slope, alright, of 2. Now we're just back to where we were just a second ago, right? I got a slope of -2, pick out one of your ordered pairs. I'll just pick this one right here. I like smaller numbers, 1, -1. So, again, y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. There we go. So let's fill in what we know. We'll say y1 is our -1. Slope I now know is -2. So our point slope formula, we can use that one. Again, make sure you're using both x and y from the same ordered pair. If you pick -1 equals and the -3, we're going to be all over the place. Nothing's going to work right. X1. Again, the question you're going to ask, which is, hey, does it matter which ordered pair I use? We can subtract 1 from when I go to use here's our equation, negative, and the answer is 2x. You can pick either one. There we go. I would say, so again, really just that one extra step earlier. Double negatives figuring out pop up everywhere. Then we can use our formula when we use point slope if we have a negative number in our ordered pair. So pick ones that maybe have positive numbers, but in this case, I got negatives in both of them, so we're going to have to deal with it sooner or later. But here we go. So step 1 is find slope. Right, 4 minus 2, so, just 2. I'll take -1. Don't get a great slope 7, here, right? We get divide that by 1 minus halves 3. All right, let's just go with it. So really y minus plus y1. This means got negatives in both of these. I'm going to pick on. So this turns into -8 pair here over 4. So y minus, hey, -1 slope equals our slope of 2. Now we're just back to where we
Negative
were
5 halves.
just a second ago. All right, I got a
X
slope of -2.
minus 2.
Pick out one of your ordered pairs. I'll just pick this one right here. Simplify this down. This says y plus 1.
So
I'll distribute over here. This
again,
is
y minus
-5 halves x,
m,
and then a
minus
-5
x1
halves times
There we go.
this -2.
So let's fill in what we know.
All right,
We'll
so
say
negative
y1
times a
is our
negative. I know I'm going to
-1.
get a positive.
Slope
This
I now
turns
know is
into a
-2,
positive
and then
5.
x minus 1. Again, make sure you're using both x and y's from the
And
same
what do we
ordered
do
pair.
here?
If you pick
Subtract
-1
from each.
and then -3,
And
we're home free.
Going to
be
be
all over
negative
the place. Nothing's going to
5
work right.
halves x.
Again, let's simplify all
plus
this.
4.
Distributive property.
Again, doesn't matter which
We
ordered
can
pair
subtract 1 from both
we
sides.
pick. I'm still going to
And
get that
here's
same
our
equation. So had I picked 4
negative
-6,
2x
I'm still going to get negative
1.
5 halves x.
There we go.
Plus 4.
So again, really just that one extra step.
Okay.
Let's
figuring
tackle
out slope
11
first,
then we
11.
can use our formula. Right?
Again,
Slope is our
here we go. Negative
first order
6
business here. Minus negative
so let's
1.
go negative 1.
Divided by 4
negative
minus
3.
2. Really, this
And
is
we're going to divide that by
negative 6
4
plus 1 or
minus
negative
6.
4 minus
All
2,
those double
just 2.
negatives everywhere.
Ooh, don't get a great slope here,
So
right?
this
We
looks like
get
negative 1
a
plus
slope
3.
of 5
I'll say is 2
halves.
This is
All right,
negative
let's just
4
go with it.
plus
So
a positive
y
6.
minus y1.
Addition signs
Got
look
negatives in
terrible.
both of these. I'm going to pick
that happens to be a 2.
this ordered pair here. So
All
y
right,
minus
so there you go.
negative
So
1
we get a slope
equals
1.
our slope. And now we can use our formula. So y minus
5
y1.
halves.
I study my ordered
X
pairs. Neither one of them
minus
look that
2.
great. I'll just go with that one there.
Simplify this down.
Y
This says y
minus
plus 1.
negative 1. I'll distribute over here. This
Equals
is slope of 1.
negative 5
x
halves
minus
x.
and then a
X
negative
one,
5
negative
halves times
4,
this negative 2.
4. There we go.
All right, so negative
Simplify
times a
everything.
negative.
This
I know
turns
I'm
into
going to
y
get a
plus 1.
positive. This turns
And
into
this turns
1x.
into a positive
Remember, this is
5.
really a positive 4, right? This is x plus 4 now. And what do we
there you
do
go.
here? Subtract 1
we
from
distribute
each.
into that positive 4.
And we're home free. Negative
Subtract 1
halves
from both sides.
X. Y equals
plus
x
4
plus
Again, doesn't
3.
matter which ordered pair
There we be.
we pick.
All right.
I'm still going to get
same
that
as
same
the
equation.
other page.
So had I
Why
picked
don't you,
4, negative
once you
6,
kiddos tackle
I'm
the-
still going to get negative
the
5
evens here.
halves x
8
plus
10,
4.
12. All right, like magic, when you
Okay.
come back,
All
let's tackle
of these
11.
answers will appear.
11. All right, so give the video a
Again,
pause. If you need
slope
help,
is
again,
our
call me over.
First order business here.
Rewatch part of it if I
So
went too
let's go
fast.
negative 1.
And we'll go minus negative 3. And we're going to divide that by negative 4 minus negative 6. All those double negatives everywhere. So this looks like negative 1 plus 3. I'll say is 2. This is negative 4 plus a positive 6, even though my addition signs look terrible. That happens to be a 2. All right, so there you go. So we get a slope of 1. And now we can use our formula, so y minus y1. I study my ordered pairs. Neither one of them look that great. I'll go with that one there. Y minus negative 1 equals slope of 1, x minus x1, negative 4, negative 4. There we go. Simplify everything. This turns into y plus 1. This turns into 1x. Remember, this is really a positive 4, right? This is x plus 4 now. So there you go. Once we distribute into that positive 4, subtract 1 from both sides. Y equals x plus 3. There we be. All right. Same as the other page. Why don't you kiddos tackle the evens here? 8, 10, 12. All right. Like magic, when you come back, all of these answers will appear. All right. So give the video a pause. If you need help, again, call me over. Rewatch part of it if I went too fast, and we'll go from there. Okay, welcome back. Here you go. Bam, look at that. I even used a different color for you. So I just gave you the slope. I didn't go through all my work. I just gave you slope and then what the formula should be. For 8, 10, and 12, looks like 8 has a slope of 1/3, and we get 1/3 x minus 5 for our equation. 10, slope of 3, 3x plus 1, and 12, slope of negative 1/2 and negative 1/2 x plus 5. Now we get an awesome pun for the day. I know all of you are shaking your heads in misery. But if we've got some time left, here's what we can do. So grab a partner, or if you want to do this all on yourself, you can. That's just a lot of work. You're gonna say, hey, partner one. So let's say here's me, and let's say I partner up with Philo. So Philo. All right, so we go through and I solve the left-hand side. Mr. Philo over here solves the right-hand side for me. So let's say, I don't know, on the first one, I get y equals x plus 7. And, hopefully AJ over here gets, y equals, maybe he gets y equals x plus 7 on this one. Well, then that tells me to figure out my pun, I know that 10 now gets an E, right? So 10 is an E, so that means I would go down here, find 10, there you go, and then I would write an E in, all right? And then we go on. So if your answers don't match up, right, and again, all 4 of them will match up to one another, so maybe 3 of yours match up, and then you've got one that you didn't get right. So anyway, that's how that works. You solve one side, your partner solves the other side, your answers should match. The matching answers, we use those numbers and letters to figure out why was the cat kicked out of school. I'm not sure. It's a great pun, though, and we will enjoy that. So we'll work on that, and then because I am super, super nice, you see that we have, not 1, but 2 homeworks. Again, the good news, 2 homeworks. Even better news, it's over our long break, so we got plenty of time to do it. However, I will take pity on you guys. I just want you to do the odds on both 5 and 6. So just the odds on 5 and 6. If you'd like to do them all, you certainly can. It's certainly good fun and good practice. But anyway, let's figure out why the cat was kicked out of school. For homework today, we'll do 5 and 6. I did not talk nearly as long as I did on my last video. We can all be thankful for that. And as always, if you have any questions, raise your hand. I'll come help you out. All right, see you guys.